What's all, dudes? I had a whole bunch of Call of Duty footage lying around. I wanted to burn it, get it off of my computer, make it useful, and so I'm going to do that. I got a little bit of time to play the open beta for everybody on the weekend, and that featured the Ground War game mode. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Ground War game mode and my thoughts on it, as well as Gunfight, since those are the clips that I didn't really use in the previous Modern Warfare video that I made. So Ground War is the big 32v32 mode that's basically copying Battlefield. It's basically copying Battlefield's version of Conquest with the capture points and the vehicle spawns. And I'm not saying that to sound like an asshole. I'm not accusing Activision of stealing. I'm not accusing Infinity Ward of stealing, even though that's what the hell. It's stealing, taking, copy, whatever the hell you want to call it. Game companies take ideas from each other all the time. That's just how the industry works. The succinct way of saying it is stealing it. The soft way of saying it is copying or taking or iterating. But yeah, welcome to Battlefield COD. I like the concept of Call of Duty's Ground War mode, but I just don't really find it that much fun. And the only reason I don't really find it that much fun consists of the way that the vehicles are balanced, the way the spawns are done, and the way the kill streaks are balanced. There's a whole bunch of different types of vehicles that you'll run into in this mode. I just got killed by one there. That's an APC. That's a wheeled vehicle with a big autocannon on it that can transport players around. There's a tracked IFV, which is slower. I don't know if it has more health than the APC or not. There's ATVs, like quad bikes you can ride around in. There's me getting killed by an IFV again. In order to counter the vehicles, you pretty much have to bring rockets. And that's really the main reason that I'm not a big fan of this mode. Like, unlike a game like Battlefield, where there's so many different tools that you can mix and match with your loadouts. You can go for a more frag-heavy loadout. You can go for a more support-based loadout. It's perfectly okay to play the game and not have a direct focus on countering tech, right? Like, not have a direct focus on countering vehicles in Battlefield. But in COD, the presence in Ground War that these vehicles have is it's so large. There's me just getting killed by a little bit of splash damage by them, that you basically have to bring rockets. And there's two types of rockets that you're probably gonna bring. They didn't implement the javelins at the time, but the beta was out because that was too high for the level cap. But you get the Igla, which is a homing rocket, and you get the Strela, which is a dummy rocket that fires really, really fast. The reloads on all of these rockets are very long, but the spawns are short, but that doesn't matter because you can probably get spawn killed by them, which will happen to you more than once, I imagine, unless they change the spawns. Now, the vehicles can fulfill one particular role that I found myself doing just kind of by accident. You don't necessarily have to bring rockets if you can get in one of these vehicles, because these vehicles can shoot down the kill streaks pretty easily. Just a couple, like 4 to 5 shots was all I needed to take down an AC-130. I'll show you footage of that in just a second. But basically, the IFVs can take down kill streaks. In fact, they're probably going to be a much more effective way of taking down kill streaks than the rockets that you have. Because in order to fire the rockets, you have to expose yourself and you have to deal with this really, really long-ass reload time. However, the aiming point for the IFVs, for their cannons or whatever, for some reason, when you aim the IFV's gun up, the FOV gets kind of skewed and you sort of have to watch where the tracer is going here. You can see that my reticule is on this VTOL, but I'm not hitting it. The way I hit it is if I kind of adjust. I look where the tracers are going and then I adjust. I do the same thing here with the AC-130. But look how many shots it takes for me to take out this AC-130. I almost felt kind of bad about it, because I'm sure this guy was really happy he got a gunship in this new mode, and I just cock-blocked him. I mean, like, shit, man. And then for some reason, the FOV gets all wonky. You literally can't see what you're aiming at up if the vehicle is backed up a certain way there. So these vehicles can kill pretty much all the infantry in 1 to 2 shots, usually 1. The rockets take a couple more shots, sometimes sometimes 2, sometimes 3, sometimes 4. I wasn't really able to keep track. There's some demonstration of some interesting Russian APC suspension system there. But we have cut score streaks. We have cut scores contributing to kill streaks in COD. Now it's just solely about kill streaks. And you can probably see how this is a little bit in a game mode where it has to be objective focused. If you're not going for the points, if you're not trying to cap the points, you will lose. And this happened a lot when I started playing the open beta. When I started playing the beta where everybody had access to it, a lot less people were actually like trying to play objective. Now, I'm not saying they weren't playing aggro, because it's COD. Okay, you gotta play aggressive to play COD. That's just how it's gonna be, unless you're sniping or you're playing a support class like LMGs, which, you know, not a lot of people do that, right? But when the open beta started, you just had a whole bunch of people baiting their teammates and going for kills. But can you blame them? Because the kill streaks in this game mode have so much influence on top of the vehicles. So you can literally just get a combination. You get like 2 to 3 people on your team that go hot, start going loud. If they're nuts, they can like pretty much just steamroll the entire enemy team and spawn camp them with kill streaks and vehicles. And in Battlefield, we had counters to vehicles. We had fighter jets. We had rockets. We had the ACAC that fired in the back of the spawn. Well, none of that is in this game mode, right? So there's a lot of things that they are borrowing, copying, stealing, taking from Battlefield, but they're not contextualizing those mechanics. It's just kind of thrown in there, and it's not really my cup of tea. However, gunfight is some of the most fun that I've had in a shooter game in a long time. This mode's great. Gunfight is going to be where all the sweaters are going to be. This is like the competitive deathmatch mode. It's a 2v2 mode, best of 6 or first to get to 6. I forgot the exact match details. But basically, it's a 1 life game mode, 2v2. You got to kill the opponents, or you capture a flag at the end if the clock runs over for too long. And they're all based on small maps. This map you see here on the screen was actually in COD 4. I don't know if anybody remembers this one. But it's interesting how they're kind of bringing some older maps back to life and also introducing some new ones. So that part I do like. I do enjoy that the developers, instead of trying to repurpose already existing maps that may not be suited to these game modes, they've made maps that are specifically tailored to these game modes. And that just makes them more competitive and just makes them more interesting to play. It's more fun. Get out of here! Oh, yes! Just like keep up the aggressiveness, like the whole. What the fuck is this?
Eliminate all enemies.
Is this a deagle with a scope?
Play aggressive.
You're not playing like how I want it, Tanner.
I said
Let's go left.
It's a deagle with a scope.
It's a deagle with the scope. Left, but
Okay,
Tanner, sitting in
left
the
but
corner,
80.
Let's go.
win rounds.
You play
Right.
first, tactically.
Ow.
How is sitting in a corner smart and tactical? You're just gonna let your other teammate die.
You play the same way.
I'm not gonna play like a
To the right,
fucking
to the right.
loser.
oh my god,
They're both lit. They're both so lit, dude.
I can't aim this fucking thing,
On the
dude.
right, dead?
I know it's ridiculous.
How the...
No, left
One
lane.
round gone. We're not dead yet, are we,
You just
lads?
gotta be chilly.
He hit.
Oh, okay.
That guy just straight up just put some bullets in your head and you're.
How would people use
Let's
this?
get to work.
Okay, MP7. Okay,
Yes.
aggro
Alright,
left,
rush.
aggro left.
Right.
Right.
Oh.
Oh my god, this gun is awesome. Left part.
Why is he not dead? Why is he in the back? I won't comment on the whole situation with the exclusivity deal with PS4 for a year for a game mode that, honestly, I probably wouldn't really play anyway. So I don't really know what to say about that yet. But all my friends are getting this game, and they expect me to get it, so I'm gonna get it too. I'll try to do some content for it on the side with Siege. I will leave you guys with a little bit of fragging out. This was my very last match on the COD beta. and I will see you all next time. Deuces.